You can probably guess that Disney and Pixar have done their job if they can get you to an emotional level before the actual movie starts. Okay, now let's talk about the film. So Coco is the newest animated feature and collaboration done by Disney and Pixar. And as we know, when Disney and Pixar team up together, it's usually gold. Usually. And in Coco, a young man named Miguel just wants to play music. He loves music, but that doesn't exactly sit too well with his family because of certain elements that happened in their ancestry. And Miguel feels that he can't be all he can be because his family won't allow him to play music. However, on Dios De Los Muertos, Miguel gets the opportunity after going to the land of the dead and meeting a certain skeleton named Hector and fulfilling his dream of showing his passion for music. And of course, there's a lot more to it than that because it's a collaboration between Disney and Pixar. And guys, let me tell you, Coco surprised me. And it is my favorite Disney Pixar film I have seen since probably Monsters, Inc. There is so much to love in Coco. I'm only going to briefly touch on the animation because, guys, it's Disney and Pixar. We know by now, whenever they pump out a new product for us, the animation is going to look lush and it's going to look beautiful. The impressive thing is how many people were behind this thing. You hear about how the producers and the director wanted to get everything so crisp and accurate, from the way characters held guitars and played them, to the Mexican culture, to just how everything was lit up and how it looked. And there are certain elements in this film where I completely forgot that it was animated. Although there is something far more important when it comes to Coco, and it's how Disney and Pixar branched out and how they created a really great story from a really unique culture. All the sources that I have available to me give me no reason to doubt that what Disney and Pixar did here is pay respect and did a very accurate portrayal of what the Mexican culture is like. And guys, the story in this movie is so beautiful because there are so many elements in this film I could go into, but that would be stepping on spoiler territory. What I can say is that, like many other great Pixar and Disney films, this film does have a very mature undertone to it. It's an element that doesn't really come into play until the second half of the film, but it will go over most every little kid's head, and honestly, it's something that the adults can really sink their teeth into. And of course, there's the messages about friendship, about being the person you're meant to be, even if you have a unique talent that's different than everybody else, seeking after that talent. And overall, just a phenomenal film that can bring adults and children together to watch and feel joy. Guys, every character in this movie, from Miguel to Hector to every other member of Miguel's family in this movie, they add their own spin. They are so delightful to see on screen, and it makes you reflect and think about your own family members and think of how many of them are actually like Miguel's family. Trust me, you'll be watching Miguel's family and you'll be like, hey, I have an uncle like that, I have a grandmother like that, my mother's like that, my grandfather's like that. Not to be misplaced is the music, because honestly, this film does something with music that I have never seen in any of the other Disney or Pixar films we've gotten up to this point. And if I have any problems with Coco, I'll say that at a certain point there was one element in the film that was very, very predictable, and I'm not sure it was me or not. Do you remember how Moana last year followed the same kind of structure that many other Disney and Pixar films had done in the past? Coco does the exact same thing. But even though those two factors are cons for me, it's not enough by any means to drag the movie down. I said it at the beginning of this video, and I'll say it again right here. Coco is my favorite animation from Pixar and Disney since Monsters Incorporated. They did a phenomenal job. Everything from the music to the animation to the culture and what this movie overall means. And the fact that by the last 10 to 15 minutes of this film, I was in tears. I'll say that Coco is most absolutely suit-worthy. But as always, guys, it is what you say that matters. So have you had a chance to see Coco yet? And what did you think of it? More importantly, since we are on the topic of animations from Disney and Pixar, what is your favorite collaboration that those two studios have done so far? Whatever may be on your mind, leave a comment down below telling me those thoughts. And if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, Click right there and subscribe and become part of the fray of nerds who love cinema. You all have a fantastic day.